Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lucky 7's podcast.
Hey, we've been thinking about this podcast for a very long time, and it's finally happened.
Long time in the making. It's been a lot of work, but also a lot of fun to get this first episode out.
We're in this, Mr. Dwyer, Mr. Discoli.
Shout out to them.
You guys are gonna love this.
They're the people that have to love it, so hopefully they do.
Yep. So we were thinking about just doing a baseball podcast at first, but then we realized, there's so much to sports that we can talk about. So
it's just we thought this was going to be a time where there's only baseball, and then you look around and it's really at all times. Fun fact: there's one day a year where there's no sports going, none of the major four sports: NHL, NBA, NFL, and that's MLB,
yeah.
And that's the ESPYS. But other than that, there's always American sports going on.
Always. I did not know that stuff.
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
Very cool.
Just thought of that off the top of my head. But it's just there's so much about sports to talk about, and just focusing on baseball would just limit us.
That would be doing a disservice to all the listeners,
Exactly, because not everyone is a baseball fan. But
trust me, we're still going to talk about baseball.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's
talking about everything.
It's prime baseball right now. So talking about baseball, you want to read off some of the scores from last night? Some great games last night.
I mean, I'd love to. So the main game that comes to mind is that Pirates game. I know Matt was watching that.
I was watching it.
Matthew Langlow, Pirates fan right here, proud
Yeah.
Pirates fan. So beat the Giants in the 10th inning. They were down 6-2 in the bottom of the ninth, and then somehow came back. I mean, that's huge.
I don't know how they did it.
And the craziest thing from that game is O'Neal Cruz. He had the two hardest hit balls of the year in the same game.
He's good at baseball. He's pretty good.
That is crazy.
3 115-mile-per-hour base hits.
Two of them, I believe, over 120.
Yeah, which
mind-blowing
are obviously
stuff.
the two that were the hardest hit balls of the year.
Some of the most raw talent in the whole MLB. He also throws 95 across the diamond from short. It's crazy.
I mean, they got a lot of potential out in Pittsburgh. As a Pirates fan, obviously I'm a little biased, but I see a lot of potential. We'll talk about the pitching later.
Yeah, trust me.
The pitching's where it gets fun with the Pirates.
Guardians beat the Mets. Guardians on that 8 game, they won 8 out of their last 9 games. They are on fire.
Yep.
Starling Marte, 2-run homer in the 8th. That was the last score.
Yep. So defensive 9th inning, Guardians able to hold on in the 9th inning, not give up any runs.
And Cincinnati Reds beat the Padres 2-0. This is the second scoreless game for the Padres.
It's just
those boys haven't been hitting.
We got to get some offense going in San Diego.
Need to work on it. Just got Luis Arias too. The team. They need to hit. They need to hit.
Yeah.
Right. Brewers beat the Marlins 7-5. Phillies beat the defending champion Rangers 5-2. Phillies are arguably the best team in baseball right now, up there with the Yanks and the Dodgers. We'll talk about those teams later.
Yeah,
too, of course. Twins beat the Nationals 10-0.
Just embarrassing.
That's
for the
a high
Nationals.
school mercy rule right there.
Yeah.
Byron Buxton 2 for 5 with 2 bombs. He's a stud.
And Nationals not having a horrible year. Not great, but I mean, they're getting better. But
they are getting better.
But just a bad game and
really bad.
Not a great season for the Nationals this year.
Red Sox beat the Rays 5-2. Rays are a really solid team. That's good win for the Red Sox. Mariners beating the Yankees 6-3.
Fun fact about Fabian: he is a Yankees fan. We live in New York, so
Yankees lost at home. Best home record in the MLB, and losing at home just really sucks. Clay Holmes really blew that game. Clay Holmes before this game, scoreless, 0 ERA, and this game gave up 4.
I mean, a crazy stat. First of all, that Clay Holmes scoreless.
Actually, I believe that was yesterday's game. Clay Holmes did that.
Yeah, that was yesterday's game.
Oh yeah. These are the scores.
These are the scores. It says it.
I'm sorry, listeners. Common mess up.
We're good.
Okay, but Clay Holmes, we really don't want. If you guys have been watching baseball for a while, in 2022, Clay Holmes started off the year amazing, and after the All-Star break, absolutely fell off a cliff. So really don't want that to happen again because he's a very solid pitcher. Everyone loves him in New York.
He's been having a great year.
Having an amazing year.
It would be a very far fall.
It would be horrible, man. Okay, rest of the games for yesterday. White Sox shut out the Blue Jays in a 5-0 win. Blue Jays, AL East, rivaling the Yanks right now. I mean, solid team. The Royals beat the Tigers 10-3. I heard Bobby Witt Jr. hit a very far home run.
Really?
That's what I heard.
How far?
I heard it was around 460.
Oh, that's pretty far.
Don't quote me on that.
I don't think I can hit a ball that far.
That's what I've heard. Okay. The Cubs beat the Braves 4-3. Nail biter, great game.
Mhm.
Cardinals beat the Orioles 3-1. Orioles really hot team.
Yeah. I heard
Adley
they're like
Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson,
Mhm.
Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday's down in the minors again, so
Mhm.
he'll come back up soon.
Fun team to watch though in Baltimore.
Very fun
And I
team.
heard they're only 2 games behind the Yankees right now. So
Yeah,
you got to be a little
it's-
scared about
it's
that.
getting close. It's
Mhm.
very scary. Astros beat the Angels 6-5 in extra innings. That was just electric game. Josh
Mhm.
Hader 3 strikeout 10th inning. That's why he's one of the best relievers in all of baseball.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Gone. See ya. Bye-bye.
And also Jeremy Pena walk-off base hit. Playoff legend Jeremy Pena
Mhm.
just doing it again.
Pena.
Athletics beating the Rockies 5-4. The 22-year-old Ezekiel Tovar with 2 home runs on the day
Mhm.
in the loss for the Rockies, but
Not his fault.
it's not his fault.
No,
2
he did
homers.
his
Not
job.
his fault. Athletics, Mason Miller. What do you think about that guy?
He's
He's a stud, right?
he's great for them. He's the Athletics really. I've been surprised. They were really bad last year, and they're not really that bad this
Great
year.
homegrown squad right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Mason Miller, one of the best.
gives me
closers in
gives me
baseball. Really-
Moneyball vibes. I don't know.
Yes,
I'm just
Moneyball?
saying. I mean, like we've seen it before. Maybe we're seeing another Moneyball. I don't know.
We have seen it.
Just saying.
And the final game that will be yesterday is the Diamondbacks beating the Dodgers 7-3, and a crazy stat from that game. Matt, I think you should tell them.
Every single starting player on the Diamondbacks got at least one hit. Some got more than one hit.
That is just an insane stat, man.
That's how
Wow.
you play baseball. I mean, you don't need one star, especially in baseball, a team where there's 9 people that have to hit every game. If you're getting every single player hitting, that's
Extremely
going to
rare,
lead
yeah.
to great things.
That's just amazing.
You can't if you have one guy getting doubles every time, but no one else to hit them in, you're not going to go anywhere. But
now that's
wait,
all
one thing I saw
There's more. Wow.
before we go on to anything else. I was looking through some tennis yesterday,
Where are you now?
and I do like some tennis. It's a fun sport. Not really an American sport, but we have it here. And there was a guy by the name of Jeffrey John Wolf, which is just
Jeffrey John Wolf.
Jeffrey John Wolf.
That's his name?
That is his name actually. That's his name.
Gorgeous name.
Gorgeous name.
For
Yeah.
real, gorgeous name. Wow.
And he beat Patrick Gibson, which is not as gorgeous.
Not a
of
bad name.
But hey, I mean,
Gibson, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
I don't want to disrespect
In the
Patrick
French
Gibson.
Open,
Yeah.
French Open.
But yeah, Jeffrey John Wolf got the win against Patrick Gibson, so good for him. And great last name from the kid.
All right, now we're gonna go on to the NHL. So, me and Matt, we're not the biggest hockey
No.
fans, but
If you're
we'll
looking
watch
for
once in a while.
if you're looking for hockey, we can give you it, but today's probably not gonna be the day.
Not gonna be the day.
We can
All
do
we
more
know is that
research.
Rangers versus Panthers tonight.
Wow.
Get absolutely hyped. for that.
I know a lot of Rangers fans, and I know a lot of them are hyped for that game.
And also on Monday, Houston Oilers beat the Canucks to clinch a spot in the Western Conference Finals against the Stars.
hmm
I mean, that's just huge for that program.
And in my knowledge of hockey, I know that the Stars are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, so it's going to be a tough one for the Oilers. But hopefully, I mean not hopefully. I'm not an Oilers fan, but hopefully we get a good matchup there, and hopefully Oilers can go to work against
Could
the
not
Stars.
agree more.
Mhm.
And now we're gonna take a deep
Oh
dive
my God!
into the Celtics Pacers series. So, as you guys saw last night, the Celtics win Game 1 in Boston, 133 to 128. Absolutely electric.
It was a great game. Tied at halftime. Tyrese Halliburton hit. It was a long shot, probably like more than 30 feet. He just pulled up and he hit it with like 1 second
And
left.
Can't forget Jaylen Brown, absolute clutch time.
Jaylen
shot.
Brown, great job by Jaylen Brown. He had a great game.
the
He
right
really
hand
did.
merchant.
Yeah.
The right hand merchant.
If he's shooting with his right hand, there's a good chance it's going in there.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get too much into that Celtics game, though, I had a question for you, and I answered my own question
I'd
too.
love to hear the question.
Who would you say the best team from round 2? Before we get into the conference finals, best team from round 2. Who you got?
I would say those Timberwolves are really putting on a show right now. Anthony Edwards, superstar. Shout out Connor Hayes.
He's great. We're gonna talk about him later because there's a lot to talk
Also,
about. With
those 2 big men, Rudy
him. Oh my
Gobert
God.
and Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best duos we've seen in a while.
You probably heard this before, but when I saw Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns on the same team, I'm like, what are the Timberwolves doing? I mean, like,
Didn't make sense. Two guys
It
who are just
doesn't.
known for their center position,
Exactly.
and now they're sharing the two big
7-footers.
You would not expect that.
But when you think about it in more, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is a shooter, and Rudy Gobert is more of a paint guy, great defender. Karl Anthony Towns has been a great defender too, though.
I really didn't expect those two guys to mix, but it's working like
Yeah.
a charm right now.
I mean,
as
but
you guys are seeing.
yeah, it really has been. And Karl Anthony Towns, and I think they've both been able to kind of play off each other and kind of give up some of their game for each other.
Matt, what is your best team from round two of the playoffs?
I think you're reading off my notes because the Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team.
Man.
I mean, it's really, they knocked off the reigning champions. Fun little stat here. They went on a 54-24 run
I mean, that is just
in
crazy.
Game 7 in Denver against the reigning champions. 30. They outscored by 30 points in that run.
That's just
Um,
wowie.
that's how I would
That's all you
explain
can
it.
say.
That's really all you could say. I mean, that's just a great stat.
I think we can both agree the best player from this round two is Anthony Edwards.
I would say he's the best player, but for me, I took a different path. When we said best player, I would say most surprising player. Maybe I would say.
Okay.
Evan Mobley.
Really just breaking onto a star that could.
He broke out. He averaged 21.4 points per game and 9.4 rebounds per game, which, I mean, if I think of Evan Mobley averaging 21.4 points per game, I don't think of Evan Mobley as that kind of player.
Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell out in Cleveland is such a great young core.
Yeah, Darius Garland.
Too.
It's a great,
like that team in a couple of years is going to do monstrous
and
things.
two guys. I'm personally a Nets fan. Two guys from the Nets, Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert, such underrated players. Karis LeVert, such a good scorer. It really is, and they're a young team too. I think next year they're going to be back, and they're a scary team. I would not want to play them.
And we just talked about the best players, so now we got to talk about the worst players.
You got it. It's got to be on there.
My worst player, hate to say it, Chet Holmgren.
Chet, yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, listen, this guy was in talks about Rookie of the Year against Victor Wembanyama. I know Matt's a big Wembanyama fan.
I love Victor Wembanyama. I love the way, I just like his name, Wembanyama. Wembanyama.
Okay.
With the bucket.
We're going on a tangent right there, but so Chet.
Okay, but Victor Wembanyama, great player,
he's a star.
Future #1 player in the league, probably future face of the league.
I could see it. Chet
Wembanyama.
We've got to talk about these stats from Chet. In Game 2 of that series, 1 for 6 from 3, 4 from 12 from the field in 37 minutes of play.
Yeah, I mean,
and that it gets worse, man. Game 5, 1 for 5 from 3, 4 rebounds and 1 assist in 39 minutes. 40 minutes of time doing that. And Game 6, 1 for 7 from 3, 3 rebounds and 1 assist in 35 minutes of play. I mean, like, this guy's supposed to be the stretch big, superstar.
He's supposed to be part of the big three.
The big three on that team. And, like, this just shows, like, he really needs to step up his game. And, like, that three-point shooting, like, that just can't happen. We got to just stop shooting at that point.
Yeah, we got to stay in the paint. I mean,
know
there's not much he can do in
all
the
the shots
paint.
you don't take.
Yeah.
But he's not making any of the shots he's taking.
And the problem is, though, if you look at him, he's very skinny. Not much he could do in the paint.
Yeah, no, he's not a Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's not Shaquille O'Neal.
I was thinking of someone else, but that just came to my mind.
He's definitely not Shaquille O'Neal. That's
he doesn't have that burly build you need
to
be able to just dominate in the post. Like, he's meant to just shoot over guys from 3.
That's
been his talent out there at Gonzaga back in high school.
Yeah,
he was known as a stretch guy, and now like
he's a 7-foot shooting guard on that team.
Yeah.
And they don't need a 7-foot shooting guard. They need a center. They don't really have a center out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
They need a guy.
They need a guy
that can hold down the paint.
They could use Rudy Gobert.
Exactly. Karl Anthony Towns. They could use either one of them.
Either of those.
Exactly. They could use Al Horford. They could use a Miles Turner. But they don't have that. They could use a Derek Lively from the Mavericks.
God. That guy's a star.
But they don't have. They have Chet Holmgren, 7 foot, like 100 pounds.
120 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's
he
not.
Just eat some more,
I'm sorry, we're going on a tangent on this guy.
Okay, so we talked about my worst player, Chet. I think you agree he's pretty bad.
He was bad. I mean,
do you have a different worst player?
I do have a different one. I do agree with you that he probably was the worst player. But I went a different route again from you. He wasn't the worst player, but Kyrie Irving.
Most disappointing, you think?
He was very disappointing because I grew up watching Kyrie Irving in the NBA Finals. And he was averaging he was scoring 30 points a game, 40 points a game. Against Steph Curry, like great players. These great defenders, Klay Thompson on the Warriors, and he was putting up 30, 40 points a game, and he goes against a Thunder team that really isn't a special defensive team. I mean, obviously they were a great defensive team
We're
to
sorry
become
about
the
those
one seed.
noises, but
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
man, I really agree on you.
so he
Kyrie is underwhelming.
15.7 points per game on 44% shooting, which it's just lackluster for a guy that
I mean, like this guy is just known for his crazy playoff
Exactly.
runs. You remember in Cleveland back in the day, like he was like arguably with LeBron, just like the
Yeah.
best player of the whole playoffs.
I mean,
like,
they were both balling during those playoffs, and Luka Doncic needs that second player. They need a guy that's going to be the second option. And
I've said this for a while. I don't think that team can work. I mean,
No.
they're going far in
It's
the playoffs right
weird.
now, but like two ball dominant guards
But
who want the ball in their hands, and I don't see it working.
the thing with it is that I think Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving is a weird duo. But I mean, Luka Doncic he averages like 9 assists a game, so he's
Yeah,
gonna pass the
that is
ball.
true.
Kyrie's gonna get the ball, but Kyrie doesn't want assists. Like he doesn't want to be assisted the ball.
Kyrie
he wants
just
to.
wants ISO buckets.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
What he does.
That's what he
Everyone
wants.
knows that. You know, one of the
And-
best dribblers of all time. Like, I don't know what you expect. He's not gonna catch threes in the corner and shoot it.
And we can move on. I just got to leave it off with this. If Kyrie Irving averages 15.7 points per game against the Minnesota Timberwolves will go to the NBA Finals.
I couldn't agree more.
That's what I have to say. All right. My worst team actually. We could go through this quick and then move on. My worst team was the Thunder.
I agree.
You agree? Okay, sweet. So we're in
You know
agreement
my
there.
opinions on Chet.
Yeah. Well, Chet was horrible. The Mavericks are not an impressive defensive team, and
Not at all.
the Thunder had what it took to win. It's just at the end of the game, close games,
They couldn't
the
pull
Thunder
through,
couldn't pull through. In
Really
the clutch.
aren't made for it. I mean, very young team. You know, we'll see how they do in the next couple of years.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked about round 2. Let's move on to round 3.
The Pacers versus Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Two very fraudulent teams.
That's it's really, if you look at. I mean, I hate to say it because they were the 2 best teams in the East. Apparently, I mean they're supposed to be.
But like, listen to this: the Celtics, first round beat the Heat without a Jimmy Butler.
I mean, they're not even. It's not the Heat.
Jimmy Butler. It's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not the Heat without Jimmy
the
Butler.
Heat is Jimmy Butler's team.
And Jaime Jaquez, Rookie of the Year candidate, also got injured in Game 4, I believe.
Yeah, just like it's like a cakewalk right there. You know. Second round, those Cavs playing. The Cavs were playing without Jared Allen, who got a rib injury, and Donovan Mitchell for games 4 and 5. Those are the games they need to close it out.
Mm-hmm. And they don't have their best
And
player.
they don't have their best
guy
player and arguably like one of the better role players in the whole NBA.
Exactly. He was like top 3 in rebounding in the NBA in the first round against the Magic, and they don't have him for that whole second round against the Celtics.
Exactly.
Celtics,
Like those teams when healthy, like you could argue they're better than those Pacers.
that you could definitely
And
argue
like
that.
you could see last night they were playing a healthy Pacers team, and they just didn't look as dominant as they did the first 2 rounds.
They really didn't.
And
it was
showing,
5-point
it was
game.
Very close game. Like
I mean,
extremely close game.
Either team could have won.
Either team could have won.
Exactly. But
Jinx.
I mean, the Pacers are kind of fraudulent too. I mean,
we got to.
I wouldn't say they're a great team.
Both of them are fraudulent.
Yeah, these are 2 fraudulent teams. The Pacers first round, they beat the Bucks.
I mean, this is insane.
I mean, they beat the Bucks
Without a Giannis
or
or Dame Lillard.
or Dame Lillard for game 4 and 5.
What the heck?
You gotta throw that in. But
What the
I mean,
heck?
even if you throw Dame Lillard in there, all 5 games, which actually the Bucks won game 5 without Damian Lillard. I believe it was game 5. So
It was, yes.
you could even say that Dame Lillard wasn't a factor.
Absolutely ruined my parlay that game.
Oh, come on, we can't. We were not talking about that. We are. Okay, we'll talk about that. All right. So, and then obviously we got a lot of New York fans here.
Yep,
So
including me.
you guys aren't gonna like this.
No, let me listen.
Yeah, I feel like he should listen.
Bogdanovich, Julius
He's
Randle,
not happy.
Mitchell Robinson.
Charlie Brown Jr. was out for this game. Lucy pulled the ball one too many times, and he's out for the season. If you get it, you get it.
Okay.
Anunoby played a total of 4 minutes after game 2.
That's just such a joke. And Hart, Hart is hurt. Why? Like, come on.
Yeah, they should.
Horrible start,
Anunoby
too.
shouldn't have played in that game.
Brunson game
That
7
was
broke his
horrible.
hand.
Yeah,
I mean, they were
It
down
wouldn't
that
have- yeah,
game,
it
but
wouldn't
still,
have-
Brunson, he wasn't 100% either.
that
No one
wouldn't
was
have-
100%.
No, I mean no one's really 100%.
No
in
one's
the playoffs.
playing under Thibodeau. No one's 100%. That
Which
guy just
Thibodeau,
screws
I
everything.
don't know if that's ever gonna work. I don't know if he's ever gonna his championship coaching like that because you need players to win the championship.
I
games.
believe whichever team wins this series, they are in for a rude awakening in
Yeah,
the finals.
they really are. And I think the Celtics, especially, if they win, they get a hard-fought series win against the Pacers. They're gonna just be shocked when they see either the Timberwolves or the Mavericks. Honestly,
Yeah, both those teams, much less fraudulent, much just
Mhm.
clearly better teams in my opinion.
Okay, but I mean, Pacers, even though it's been fraudulent, best offensive rating this postseason.
And the Celtics do have the second best.
Yeah.
So both these
So
teams,
they've
So-
looked good on the stats. They've looked good.
yeah, but you got to take into account who they're playing against.
Yeah,
of course.
and Celtics third best defensive rating, best net rating this postseason. But if you look at Pacers, out of the 4 teams remaining, worst defensive rating against, they weren't playing Giannis. They weren't playing any players on. I mean, there was no one on the Knicks pretty much. They had like half their team, and the worst defensive rating left. I mean,
But the Pacers, like, very unselfish team.
Oh, yeah.
Their style of play, it's
Mhm.
fun to watch. But like, one question I have for you is: do you think the style of play could win a championship, or do they need a superstar to play like this?
I look at the teams that have won the championship in recent years. Steph Curry,
Jokic.
Jokic, Kawhi Leonard on that Raptors team, LeBron James. I don't see a team I don't know if it's ever, maybe the Mavericks when they won with Dirk Nowitzki is a similar team, but even Dirk Nowitzki
Dirk's
an
like
all-time
an
an all-time great.
And Halliburton, we're not saying he's a bad player.
We're
but
not saying
he's not up to that caliber that all those other
He's-
players were.
He's a very selfless player, and that's good at times, but when you're winning a championship, you need a guy that's selfish and will score the baskets when you need them. And Tyrese Halliburton is not
you need
the
a guy
guy.
that has the ability to play selfish and
Exactly.
play good selfish.
And Tyrese
we
Halliburton,
don't think Halliburton can do that.
he
right
passes too much. He's got to stop passing. I see him going up for layups and he's passing it out. He got a wide open layup.
now.
Go
Some
for the
would
layup.
say an assist merchant.
Yeah, he might be, honestly. But it's got them this far. It's got them playing good against a Celtics team that the Celtics are a good team. Like they had the best record in basketball.
And about winning a championship without a superstar, the Celtics don't have that problem. Jason
Yeah,
Tatum,
no, they don't.
can't say anything bad about him. He is one of the best players in the league.
He
Can't
top
argue that.
5.
Also,
probably.
Jalen Brown,
Kristaps Porzingis.
Derek White. These guys are just good
Yeah.
players.
I mean, if you look at it, they have 5 All Stars on their starting lineup, which
They
is just
do.
it's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's just
Well
insane
coached
stuff.
team.
I think on paper the Celtics just absolutely blow this
Yeah.
Pacers team out of the water.
Yeah, really. If you look at the stats, like let's put it. I don't know if the viewers here watch NBA or play NBA 2K, but if you look at like the overall of these two teams, you're looking at Celtics probably like a 90 overall team. Like they're a good team. Pacers
I
probably
feel
like
82.
82, 83. Like they're like it's just. But the way the Pacers play the game has got them to this point, and I think will be the reason they're not able to win it all because it's not going to do it against the great teams like the Timberwolves and even the Celtics, even though it's been a fraudulent run for them so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Talking about the Mavericks and the Timberwolves, let's shift over to that series real quick.
I think we focus on the 2 stars from both teams.
Yeah,
Luka Doncic versus Anthony Edwards. I mean, that's gonna put fans in the seats. That's
you
just
can't. I mean, that's the storyline here. I mean, the big storyline is face of the NBA.
on the line this game.
I think because I think Jason Tatum's a great player, and I think really what we look at here is there's the winner of this finals, unless it's the Pacers. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton.
I don't think they're gonna make it.
I don't think they're gonna win it. But if they were to, I don't think Tyrese Halliburton would be the face of the NBA. But
I don't think he has the.
I think the winner, the team that wins, their player, unlike I wouldn't say Jokic. I guess Jokic is the face of the NBA, but like I think this year
These guys are both extremely fun to watch. I'm not saying
Uh-huh.
Jokic isn't fun
Yeah.
to watch, but like he doesn't have the flair that
Mhm.
Luka and Anthony Edwards
Yeah.
have. Specifically Anthony Edwards.
yeah, Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan-esque, I think you could say.
He's getting the Michael Jordan claims.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it honestly. I think he's a great player and he's fun to watch, like Michael Jordan.
Shout out Connor Hayes.
Shout out,
Big
Connor
Anthony
Hayes.
Edwards fan.
Huge Anthony Edwards fan.
Huge Anthony Edwards fan.
But let's look at some of the stats. All right, let's look at so
So, their career stats: Luka, 28.7 points per game, 8.3 assists per game, and 8.7 rebounds per game. I mean,
Great.
pretty close to a triple double, honestly.
Yeah.
Anthony
Which is
Edwards, 22.9 points per game, 4.1 assists per game, 5.2 rebounds per game. Not as good.
But that's
on
for the
paper,
career.
you know, but that's for a career.
So I think Anthony Edwards is starting to blossom now.
Yeah, Luka's blossomed like a couple of years ago. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean he's really been.
He's had more time.
That
Anthony
guy,
Edwards just like kind of fitting into his role right now of like the superstar that Minnesota needs. You know.
Yeah, and but really now Luka Doncic this year, I think personally snubbed of an MVP.
I really agree.
33.9 points per game, 9.8 assists, 9.2 rebounds.
Scoring title, by the way. Scoring title,
yeah. I don't see how that's not an MVP season.
Very close to a triple-double.
Yeah, on 33
that's just
points per game,
stuff.
34 points per game. I don't know how that's not. I mean, you score the most points per game in the NBA, and you almost average a triple-double, and you're not the MVP. You actually finished third behind Shea and Nikola Jokic.
I don't know what Shea's doing over Luka.
I don't think Shea had a better season. But Anthony Edwards this season not quite as good. 25.9 points per game.
Still a great season.
No, he had a great season, but less than Luka.
I think now we dive into their playoff stats.
Yeah.
So, Luka this playoffs, 27.3 points per game, 9.1 assists per game, and 9.7 rebounds per game. Just stellar stuff. Wouldn't expect less from him.
I mean, it's not as good as his regular season.
1.4 steals per game.
Yeah.
But the 30% from three is kind of throwing me off.
And 42. I mean, 42 is not bad from the field, but it's not great.
Yeah, but compared to Anthony Edwards' percentages.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards 40% from three and 50.4% from just the field.
Yeah.
And like he's way more efficient this playoffs.
Which and he's scoring more points a game.
He is. Less assists and less rebounds.
Yeah, which I mean Luka's kind of
which is expected.
Yeah,
Luka's
it's expected,
pass around guy.
Yeah, he dishes the
Anthony
rock.
Edwards just a pure scorer you need, you know.
And but like that's important, especially for the playoffs, to be efficient on your shots. It doesn't even matter if you're taking more shots, making more shots. To be more efficient, I think that's a huge stat. And also, you look at 4.1 turnovers per game for Luka Doncic
compared to Anthony Edwards 3.2.
Yeah, I mean it's all stats where
one less turnover. You know that could be huge.
Anthony Edwards is having a better playoff than Luka Doncic, completely. I don't know, man. It's not close.
I don't know.
Look at these stats, man. And then if Anthony Edwards,
no, I disagree. Luka has better playoffs.
No. Come on. I mean, look at. I get the assist and rebounds, but 50% from the field. He's shooting 50%, making 29 a game.
3.2 more assists.
No, but that's not his game. He's scoring. He scores points. They don't need him.
Okay, well, you have to look at the whole game.
Okay,
Anthony Edwards better scorer, sure, but like Luka is a way more well-rounded player this playoffs.
He's
fairly close.
He's not, because he's shooting 42%. He's trying to score the ball. He's just not, so he has to do other things. He's trying to score.
This is his game. He's always been like this. This is his game.
No. Why? Why is he shooting that much? Pass the ball. Just keep passing the ball. Have 12 assists.
10 rebounds per game against 6.
Okay, but
he's grabbing that rock.
Luka's taller. I mean, Luka gets boards. They don't need. They have Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Why does he need to get rebounds?
We can't just forget the 3 more assists per game.
I mean, yeah, but look, he's also having a turnover more a game.
Let's say he has 3 more assists that are 3-pointers. That's 9 more points his team gets.
No, but I mean, he's doing his job. He's scoring. They have other guys on the team that dish the ball. I think Anthony Edwards' job is to score the ball efficiently, and he's doing that. More steals a game. Better from the field.
More steals a game. 0.3.
Okay, but still, I mean, he's playing better defense.
We're cherry picking now, Matt. We're cherry picking.
Everything. It's more. Is it more? It's 1.7 more than 1.4.
Cherry picking right now.
No, I don't care. That's more steals, more points, better field goal percentage, less turnovers. Anthony Edwards is better than Luka Doncic. They're gonna win. Timberwolves are gonna win against the Dallas Mavericks, and Anthony Edwards is gonna go on to win the NBA Finals. And Anthony Edwards is gonna be the best player in the NBA.
Luka will go on to win this series.
No.
Win a finals.
No.
Win a finals
No.
MVP.
No.
And cement himself as the face of the NBA.
Anthony Edwards is gonna win the finals. I don't know if he's gonna be the face of the league. He still has a lot to prove with these stats, but he is going to be better than Luka Doncic, according to everyone. And you're gonna be wrong. People are gonna be looking back at this saying, "Oh, this guy was talking Luka Doncic is better than Anthony Edwards."
Fans of Lucky 7 podcast right now, I want you guys to clip
Hey,
what Matt is saying
clip this, please clip it.
and show it to him in a couple of years and laugh in his face.
Please clip it.
No,
All right.
we're done with this.
You know what? Let's fight more.
I don't want to talk to you about this anymore.
Let's fight more. Let's do
Oh yeah.
let's do something else. Top 10 players in the NBA right now. You go first. I want to hear how wrong your list is before I say mine.
My whole list right now.
Whole list. No, start with 10.
Number 10, I have Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. I have him at 9. I mean that's fair.
Okay. Number 9, I have Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. I don't have him on mine. I think he's washed.
You don't have.
I think Kevin Durant's washed. No, come on.
This is such a joke.
Kevin Durant. Look at this Suns got
star.
swept. The Suns got swept in the playoffs.
Okay, he's still a star.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
he should have won a finals by
I'm
himself.
excited for you to keep pushing this playoff argument.
Okay,
the rest of your list.
maybe he should have won a finals by himself. He didn't. He went to the Warriors to win a finals.
Okay, we're bringing up
All
things like 7,000.
Okay, where's his finals? That's his only NBA finals.
Number 8, I have Giannis. I have Giannis number 8.
I have him a lot higher than 8. I think what he's doing. I think what he's doing with the Bucks every year.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, you definitely forgot about him because 8 is crazy.
Actually, my list is a little wrong. 8, I have LeBron.
Sure,
Not
yeah,
Giannis.
yeah, sure.
No.
Because that's what I have on my list, so that's kind of weird.
No,
that
I'm
you
not
changed it to
copying
that.
you, I promise. 7,
Oh,
Anthony
weird.
Edwards.
That's why I have 2, so you're copying my list.
I'm not. I swear I'm not.
Thank you for copying my list.
Number 6, I have Giannis. Please don't tell me it's the same.
No, I have him
Who do you have?
at 6. Jason Tatum.
I have him my 5.
Yeah,
so,
I mean it's
there's not a lot of arguments left to have. I think
Yeah.
our lists are pretty similar. 4, I have Joel Embiid.
all right. Well, I'll say mine. I want the spotlight too. But
What?
you say yours first. Joel Embiid,
4.
the free throw merchant.
Is he not?
You might as well put the refs at 4. You might as well put the refs at number 4. Scott Foster, you're number 4 in the league.
Fans of Lucky 7 podcast.
Scott Foster.
This young man. No. He doesn't even have Joel Embiid in his top 10. I'm a Knicks fan. I hate this guy.
I hate him
but
too.
Come on.
I'm not gonna lie. As a Nets fan, I hate him.
Joel
but-
Embiid not in the top 10?
Okay.
This is a joke. You have Tyrese Maxey.
because Tyrese Maxey in the playoffs was dominant against the Knicks. Joel Embiid stood at the free throw line like 20 times,
This
and
is
other
a
than that,
joke.
was not doing
Tyrese
anything.
Maxey over Joel Embiid is a joke.
Joel Embiid at 4 is a joke. The most fraudulent MVP of all time.
Joel Embiid
Not
not in
arguably,
your top
he
10
is.
is an absolute travesty.
He should
to the
not have been
sport
an
of
MVP.
basketball.
He should not.
You should never do a podcast again.
I
this is
can't.
sick.
I can't
I'm
watch
sorry, this is
Joel
sickening.
Embiid. I can't watch Joel Embiid shoot free throws at 20 free throws a game. I mean, I don't understand why they keep sending him to the line because he just keeps shooting free
Are you
throws.
joking?
I'm
Joel
not
Embiid's
joking.
in your top
He's
10.
not a top 10 player. Talent wise, he's not top 10 in
Oh
the
my
league.
God, you're-
Talent wise, he's
Okay.
not top 10. He's not a
Oh
top
my
10
God.
player. He's not. All right, you want to hear my list?
You're lucky this is a school podcast.
You want to hear a good list? You want to hear a
I'd
good
have
list?
some words for you. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Tell me.
It's
Oh, I don't have Steph.
yeah, this guy's talking about me not having Joel Embiid. He doesn't have Steph Curry.
Steph was hurt. He was hurt.
I don't care. He's
I
the
haven't
best.
seen him. He's hurt.
He's the best shooter of all time. He's a generational player. He's easily top 5 in the NBA. Still, he has been dominant
He was hurt.
throughout his whole
I haven't
career.
seen him. He's hurt.
Throughout his whole career. All right.
Number 3, I have Shea.
Yeah, I have him at 4.
Oh, I thought you didn't. have him.
No, I wouldn't make that mistake.
And who do you have at number 3?
Giannis.
Giannis.
Giannis is still better than
Do I have Jokic?
I have him at 1. Reigning MVP.
Oh, Doncic.
Reigning
You
MVP.
just said Doncic got snubbed.
I know, but
Your list doesn't make sense.
I
have
know.
Doncic at 1.
I'm being fraudulent right
You're
now.
a fraud.
I'm being fraudulent right now, but Jokic has the accolades and he has the MVP, so
Yeah,
I
you-
have to
you
give
can
him the
flip
number 1
one and
spot.
two, I think.
Yeah, I mean
That's
it's
fair.
easily interchangeable. So I have Tyrese Maxey 10, Donovan Mitchell 9. I obviously don't agree with Tyrese Maxey at 10, but
no, just oh my god.
LeBron at 8, Anthony Edwards at 7, Tatum at 6, Steph Curry at 5. This guy doesn't even have Steph Curry on his list because he's a fraudulent basketball fan.
He was hurt.
Shea at 4, Giannis at 3, Luka Doncic at the number 2 position, and Nikola Jokic number 1. I'm gonna edit. I feel bad. I'm gonna put Luka Doncic over Jokic because I did say all that stuff about Luka Doncic being better than
Guys,
Jokic.
we have a live update. Aaron
Live
Judge
update.
2-run home run
Oh my god!
in
Let's
the
go.
first inning.
Dude, that's
huge.
electric right there.
Oh, and talking about Aaron Judge, I don't know if we spoke on this already. Player of the week.
Oh yeah.
We'll speak on that
I think we'll
later.
speak on that later. Yeah. But
Please let the fans know.
let's keep talking about basketball real quick.
But
Caitlin
now
Clark.
We're gonna move on to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, averaging 17 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 5.5 assists. This is not bad.
Fave, is she washed?
See, I'm not sure because
I
this
don't know.
isn't bad, but like future of the WNBA.
Yeah, future. I mean, that's what I've been hearing. That's.
I
I
was
mean,
expecting 25, 8, and 8.
yeah. I mean, she was great at Iowa. Never won a championship. Maybe she's just not a winner. 0-4 right now.
Ooh.
0-4 right now in the WNBA.
She was the first pick.
She was.
How'd Wembanyama do?
Yeah,
go.
not great. Not great.
Yeah.
And Wembanyama is a generational
We can't
player.
think about this
so,
team right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And we can't forget she's averaging 6.5 turnovers a game.
Yeah,
That is
6.5.
just
I mean, that's
preposterous.
ridiculous. A ridiculous amount of turnovers.
Jesus Christ.
So you can't say. I mean, it is kind of.
Another question for you. Has the hype of her being the number 1 pick gotten into her head?
If you think, I just want to put this into perspective. Imagine you're doing your job, and you wake up in the morning and you think there's someone going to your job. There's a critic. Let's say you have a job interview, and you have to do the best you've ever done something. You're expected to be the best at something every day of your life. You're expected to be the best Dunkin' employee. You're expected to be the best stockbroker every day of your life. And you're expected to entertain people in that field every day of your life. That's what Caitlin Clark's job is. She is expected to be the best women's basketball player every day of her life. And that's impossible for her, obviously, to be the best every year because she's human and she's gonna make mistakes. But eventually it gets to you where you're in that mindset, like I have to entertain everyone. And once you get to a new level where the players are better, you're not gonna be averaging 30 points a game. When you first start, she's still averaging 17 points a game. It's gonna take her time to get settled, realize that you're not gonna be the greatest right away, and kind of get settled in and become the greatest.
I agree, man. That was great.
Mhm.
You know, Angel Reese also, we got to talk about her.
Yeah, she's
settling in. 11.5 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists.
for the 500 Chicago Sky. So
Performing much better than the Iowa Fever.
2-2 right now. So good for them.
Indiana Fever.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Correct myself.
She played at Iowa in college.
She did. So I have my rights.
Mm.
Also,
Well,
you know, Caitlin Clark, 34.3% from 3. Iowa, I
It's
believe,
not bad.
she was much higher from 3.
I mean, yeah, but 34.3 is still pretty good. Like that's still a respectable average.
Washed.
No, come on, she's not washed. I mean, it's just gonna take her
We need
time,
to
you
see a
know.
full season first.
Yeah, it's
There's
too
really
early.
speculation we have.
4 games. You know, you can't do it. She's still done amazing things for women's basketball. I mean, I watched a WNBA game last night,
I
and
did.
I don't think I would ever. I would have, but I don't think I would have done it.
And
without
now-
Caitlin Clark.
Let's talk about those New York Yankees. So,
They've been great. I can't
Yankees.
lie.
best home record in the MLB this year, as well as the best record in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
Juan Soto leading the way, 59 hits, batting after 309 and 37 ribbies.
Ridiculous.
He's currently the favorite to win the AL MVP.
11 home runs, too.
11 home runs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, fourth in MVP voting, 13 home runs. 2 guys in the top 5 of the MVP voting.
Ridiculous.
Also, All-Star Garrett Cole, he started throwing again, throwing to live batters, which is just really great for the Yankees.
So everything's going right for them right now, pretty much.
And also, Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole.
Stud.
I love to. I mean, I am a Garrett Cole fan. I cannot lie to you. He's in my trivia, actually, that we're going to be doing later.
And also,
a little spoiler
Juan
there, I'm sorry.
Soto, one big thing about Juan Soto, most people thought that when he was going to New York, a lot of people thought that he wouldn't be able to handle the pressure of New York. A lot of players, all of my Yankee fans listening, you guys remember Sonny Gray and Joey Gallo. Those 2 guys went to New York and played terrible because the fans got to them,
Abysmal.
Joey Gallo just couldn't hit a ball, hit a home run every 10 games.
Reds legend, I believe.
Reds?
Where did he play?
No.
Oh,
Texas Rangers legend. Sonny Gray, Reds legend.
Who was the guy in the Reds?
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray?
Yep.
He's from the
Pitcher.
Reds? Yeah, that's what I meant.
And every other team other than the Yankees, he's been a star. Almost won a Cy Young last year.
Yep.
But on the Yankees, just abysmal. The fans hated him.
Yeah.
Had to get him out here. And Juan Soto, he is feeding into the crowd. The crowd loves that kid. And he's just fitting like a glove.
Well, I was about to ask a
Not
question.
the OJ glove.
I was about to ask you a question, but you answered it a little bit. Why are they so much better at home?
Well, I think they're just they're really feeding off the fans. And Juan Soto, he just put everything together. We needed a guy like him who can just get on base, hit the ball hard, do everything we need. And also, there's some other sleeper guys like John Birdie, hit a home run 2 days ago He's also very fast, a great fielder. He's a great utility guy we need. And just all the pieces are working. Judge started off the season pretty slow, but now he's getting hot. Everyone's on fire right now. And the pitching staff, we can't forget about the pitching staff. The best pitching staff in baseball.
Great pitching
Without
this year.
Garrett Cole, everyone is performing. Luis Gill, 14 Ks last game.
Great year.
14 Ks.
That's ridiculous.
That is the most by any rookie Yankees pitcher ever. That is, yes, ever.
That's a long history
Ever.
right there.
Those guys have been playing baseball for like 200 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
So like,
Were they even called the New York Yankees back then?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Asking
I
the
have
wrong
no
guy.
idea.
Okay. The Yankees pitching staff, star-studded. And, Matt, you are a Pirates fan.
Oh, come on.
What is happening to those
I know.
Pirates? They are really falling off a cliff right now. Started off the year 11-5 and 23 of 26 their last games. What do you think about that?
I mean, I was really excited at the beginning of the year about the Pirates because they have not started off a year that good. I believe they started like 5-0 to start the year, which was like absolutely ridiculous. But they're a young team with a lot of potential, and this won't be the year that they live up to that potential. But Mitch Keller, Jared Jones,
Stud.
Paul Skeens,
Stud.
stud, right there. This is going to be a team that goes, I think next year they break out. And with these three pitchers on the squad, they are playoff ready. They're ready for October. They're ready to go far in the playoffs. They have consistent pitching. They just need that offense to be as consistent because, I mean, they have the potential to be great on defense. They just need to have more consistency with the bats.
I think Jared Jones and Paul Skeens, give it a couple of years, best 1-2 punch in all of baseball.
It definitely could be. Jared Jones has
Paul
been
Skeens, last game, 6 innings pitched, 11 Ks.
Well, you know what's even better? Jared
One
Jones.
base runner. And Jared Jones.
Just watch. I don't know if the stats will speak to Jared Jones, but watch Jared Jones play.
The eye test really just
The eye test it shows that he's gonna be great.
I think if that Pirates team gets a couple bats, they will win something big in the next couple of years.
Yeah. All right. So now's a little treat.
Segment we got.
A little treat for you guys.
Trivia.
And make sure you play at home because it's not as easy as you think it is.
Should I ask the first question?
I think I'll ask the first question.
Oh, okay.
Which quarterback led the NFL in interceptions last season?
This is a tough one. So
I'll give you, if you get second, I'll give it to you because I feel like you won't get first.
This is a tough one.
You can see my face.
No, I'm not.
All right, if you say it, I'm gonna know
Okay,
you because you would not get it.
Sam Howell. Is it the Washington Commanders? Sam Howell.
Okay. It might.
Horrible.
It
Let
might
me get the
definitely
second
be.
place. Russell Wilson.
Not even close.
Zach Wilson.
No.
Someone with the last name Wilson.
No.
I don't know. I just
Josh Allen. I thought
Josh Allen?
Yeah. Josh Allen was not good last year.
No, I'm not the biggest football guy, but I thought Josh Allen was a star.
Yeah, he is a star, and he was not as well. He was a star. He was good in fantasy, which
He was,
is like half the battle. But
it's because that team throws a lot.
yeah, and they throw a lot of interceptions.
Okay, well, here's your question.
Although they did lose Stephon Diggs, which
That-
just want to
that's-
mention that real
that's
quick.
not gonna
They're
be
not
good
going to be great
next
next year. It's not. It's going to be rough for them. So yeah, he's probably going to have more
Did they also
interceptions.
lose Gabe Davis?
I believe they did to the Jaguars. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't know what they're going to do.
Josh Allen, he's gonna have to turn into a running back himself.
I think they got like Adonai Mitchell from the draft, but he's not. I mean, he's nothing special.
Nothing like Stephon Diggs.
No, he's not. Well,
Okay,
maybe he will be. I
Matt,
don't
I
know.
have a question for you. Who had the lowest ERA in baseball last year? Starting pitchers.
Lowest ERA. Was it a Pirates pitcher?
No.
Is it someone I would get?
I think so. If you get second place, I'll give it to you too.
Garrett Cole.
He was second place.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Garrett Cole.
First place was Blake
Wow.
Snell.
I didn't realize he was that good.
Okay, I'd like to hear your question.
alright.
We each have 3 questions, by the way.
Which NBA team led the league in assists? I'll give you a hint if you want.
Are they still in the playoffs?
They are still in the playoffs.
Is it
So it's a
the
1-4.
Indiana
It
Pacers.
is the Indiana. I thought you
Yep,
would get that.
we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we were talking
Selfless
about
play.
that.
Okay, Matt,
And Tyrese Halliburton's also leading the
Yep,
league in assists.
he's a great
Which I was
point guard.
surprised by, actually. I didn't realize he was that good.
It must be great playing around him,
Yeah,
really up in your point.
It would be fun, yeah. TJ McConnell, I'll say. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Great
Didn't really talk about him, but he's
representing white boys all over the country.
Representing white
Oh
boys.
my god, that kid can play, and he's a dog.
Matt, here's your question. What is the only country to play in every World Cup?
Every World Cup. I'm gonna go Brazil.
That is correct.
Let's go.
Shout out Marcelo.
Shout out Marcelo
if you're listening to
and
this.
anyone else I know. I don't know anyone else. So
I mean, but he is Brazil, so
he is the country of Brazil.
What is your last
Okay.
question for me,
Right. Why don't
Matthew?
you ask yours? I really like my last.
You like me to
question.
ask? I love mine too.
Okay.
No, I'll ask mine first. What is the only sport to be played on the moon?
I'll guess soccer.
False.
Really?
It is golf.
Are you serious? How would they play golf on the moon?
I'm asking the wrong
Yeah,
guy.
you probably hit it like 600 yards. Oh my god. That'd be so much fun.
Little tangent here. Me and Matt went golfing
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I might have hit a lot of balls in the water.
Yeah, Fave better rage quit just
Had
a little
one
bit.
bogey. One bogey.
I had one really good hit.
My
I
chips
don't know
were
if you
good.
remember it. Fave said it didn't end up on the green. He said it ended up in the woods, and it was on the green. So that was my highlight.
Don't give me a driver.
No.
I'll
Give him
I'll
a chipper,
chip
yeah.
it
Whatever
very
those are
well.
called.
But if it drive, it will
Mhm.
slice.
I wish we would have talked. I think there's golf going on, like PGA Tour. We should have talked about that, but we didn't.
We got more. We got more episodes.
Yeah,
Trust me.
this is not the last episode, boys.
Wait, Matthew, what is your last question?
All right, which team drafted Garrett Cole? It's not the Yankees.
I know that. It's not the Astros either.
No, no, it's not. I don't know how you do that.
Is it the? Oh God, I know this. Pittsburgh Pirates.
It is the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is why I asked the
I
question.
remember his card, and that will be the
Yeah.
show once. Our
Mhm.
rookie card on the Pittsburgh Pirates. I was gonna say the Tampa Bay Rays for some reason,
But that wasn't right.
But
so
that was other pitchers. Okay,
Okay.
that was a fun segment. I think we keep that going.
Yeah, dude, I think we do.
And now you know. Who is not excited for EA College Football 25?
Absolutely electrifying.
I know Matt's excited about it.
I'm sorry. I was zoned out, but this is something. I just have to go on a little tangent here. You don't talk for like a minute. Okay.
Sorry.
No, shut up.
Language, please.
It's not. I'm not getting emotional, but this is like something I've actually been like. I believe college football 14 was the last college football game, and
13.
13.
Wrong.
Okay. I'm sorry, but like I remember going to the store, and I was gonna get college football 13 because I'm a huge Penn State fan, or at least I was. I'm going to Indiana University now, but I was a huge Penn State fan, and I actually like wouldn't like on Saturdays it was Penn State time, and every Saturday I went in my basement and watched 3 hours of Penn State football with no one else, just myself, because that's what I wanted to do. That was what I wanted to do. And I wanted this game so bad so I could play with Penn State and make them into a championship team because they were not good and they still are not good even though they are a top 10 team.
Just tapping in here, you were right. 14 was the latest.
Yeah, so I don't know why you're jumping in to be wrong.
For me.
Okay. I know when it comes to this game, I know. Okay.
Keep going.
So this game's coming out July 19th and it seems so far away from me. Like it's like honestly I'm mad that it's so far away. Yeah. But to think that I thought there was never going to be another one. Oh, it's talking about the story. So I was going to tell the story. I remember I bought CFB 14, and I come home, and I have an Xbox One.
How old were you at that time? 8, 9?
I was probably 10, I would say.
Wow.
And I come home, and it was a PS4 only game.
Oh,
so I put it in, and it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And then so I was literally like so mad. I don't know if I cried, but I was very mad. And
I would be just as mad.
And it was like the game I was looking forward to so much.
Okay, well, let's talk about this game. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the Madden game modes are coming to this game, like Road to Glory and Dynasty mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are going to be fun
Electric,
game modes,
yeah.
but like, no, what's really electric? Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team.
If you guys don't
I'm
know,
ecstatic.
Ultimate Team's been a thing they have in Madden for years. It's where you collect cards, put them on your team, and make your own fantasy team and play online.
Build the
against them.
best team you can make.
And now they're adding that to college football.
Mm-hmm.
So some cards that me and Matt are very excited to use.
Penn State Saquon Barkley. That is the most
electric.
ecstatic card.
The
and
most
I can't.
electric card I'm excited for is a Texas A&M Johnny Football, also known as Johnny Manziel. After
That's
seeing his documentary on Netflix, it just fired me up. Not the second half of it. The first half thought it
No,
was
yeah,
football
when
career.
he was actually playing football.
That
he's
guy's
a
going to be
great football
partying
player.
and just throwing that rock.
Yeah.
Throwing it to a Texas
I wonder
A&M
if-
Mike Evans card.
I wonder if in a Road to the Glory they would have a party scene in the game. Probably not.
I doubt it.
Probably not, but I mean,
This
you
game's
never
for
know.
kids.
And
Also, a Michigan Jabril
yeah,
Peppers.
if you don't know, all-time great player.
Probably would
he
be
played safety, cornerback, running back, wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner. I think he played some
I
quarterback.
can't really see a defensive card that will be better than that in the game.
No.
That
Or an
has to
offensive
be
card, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, he might just play
put him
everything.
everywhere.
I don't know. I don't
Also,
know how they're going to do that.
a Clemson DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. He was a
Yep.
stud at Clemson. He was
Clemson.
really good.
They waitlisted me, so
Yeah.
don't really like them.
Screw them.
That's rude.
Go-
Okay.
Go D-Hop.
Also, there's going to be some all-time teams we heard. So some all-time teams we're excited for. 2001 Miami.
The greatest team of all time.
2019 LSU. I mean,
Mhm.
that team.
That team was really good.
I
think
remember
the
watching
2001
that team. I wasn't really
Yeah.
a college football guy, and
Uh-huh.
that team just made me watch it.
Yeah, it made me love the sport.
That
I
team
remember
was insane.
I was in the Grand Canyon and I was watching on the radio, or I was listening on the radio, and it was like 63-7 against Oklahoma. It was like the number 4 team. I'm like, what is happening? Like, they're just nuts.
People argue that team could beat some NFL teams.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that team was
the Giants,
insane.
they probably could beat the Giants.
But like one thing that I'm really scared for is just like them taking my money. Ultimate Team is known. I mean, EA in general is
Yeah,
known
EA.
for just like being all money hungry.
Madden is
And
a
an Ultimate Team
horrible game.
usually like no money spent is very hard on that game. I
Mhm.
remember about 4 years ago. I think it was Madden 20 or 21. I spent a lot of money on that game. Then my mom saw that I spent a lot of money, and she got very mad.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really hope they make it easier for no money spent people to make a solid squad. But you know it's EA, so
100%, yeah.
I
They won't.
They
They
won't.
won't.
It's
No.
gonna you're gonna
It's
have to spend a lot
gonna.
of money.
It's. That's why I'm so mad because they're gonna find a way
I
to
gotta
mess it
pick
up.
up a couple more hours at work. You
Yeah.
know? 'Cause I'll be spending
All
a
my
lot.
money is going. If it is pay to win, all my money's going into this
Oh,
game.
and also Matt,
Mhm.
this game will be the first place with the new 12-team college football playoff system. What do you think about that?
It opens the door for teams like Penn State.
Maybe Penn State will finally make a college
They
football playoff.
will make the college football playoff, which I'm sad it's the year that I'm going to Indiana, so I'm not gonna be really rooting for them as much.
Indiana's not going to be making
No, they will not. Well, you never know. You never know.
Marist.
Maris has
No.
no. But yeah, it opens the door for teams like that. It's just really more football. Which who's gonna argue about more college
I
football?
mean,
I
which is
won't
great.
personally.
And like
Yeah.
this will like fix teams like FSU not making it. Like
Uh-huh.
FSU
Yeah,
undefeated last year and didn't make it.
they
Like,
deserve their chance. Right?
every team
Yeah.
should make it if they're
Mhm.
undefeated.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
Yeah, you could argue like the 13 team's still gonna be like, why am I not in it? Like, where's mine? But they're not gonna be an undefeated team. Like,
they might have, like, 2
realistically, the
games or something.
13 team is probably not gonna win the college football playoff.
Yeah.
So,
realistically, huh?
like, if they were 12, they would still wouldn't win it.
Okay, man,
um,
I'm super excited for that.
Also, a guaranteed spot for non-Power 5 teams.
Yep. That's just great.
Which is,
representation. Yeah.
like teams like UCF who should have made the college football playoff when they went undefeated and they didn't. They'll finally get their representation.
All right, now we're gonna dive into the world of tennis.
I love it. I really do.
I mean, tennis is very fun to watch. To me, you know?
You got
My dad's
what
a
was the
huge
guy I
tennis
said
fan. He has the
earlier?
Rafael Nadal shoes.
Really?
Yep, my dad has those.
That's
They're
awesome. Where do
perfect.
I get those?
Pretty ugly. I
Uh-uh.
don't like them, but
Uh,
okay. So, Yannick Sinner, number 2 player in the world, and
Sick name.
depending on Djokovic's results in Geneva this week, he could move up to 1. Just won his first Grand Slam title in January, the Australian Open. He won that. That's just huge for him, and he has a really quick rise to stardom. He's only 22 and could be the number one ranked player in the world.
Mhm.
Djokovic, one of the goats, was ranked number 1 at 24,
Yeah.
and
For the
Sinner's
first time.
22, and he might be.
I
number
would
one.
like to give a little update.
Yes.
Unique Sinner is officially the number 1 player in the world
Well, this
as
is
of
huge.
now. So now he is the number 1 at 22 years old.
Right now he's on pace to be up there with the Djokovic, the
Uh-huh.
Federers, the Nadals.
the big 3. Yeah, he could
Yep.
make it the big 4, or he could make it the big 1. Unique Sinner.
like Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea.
Okay, that's all we got on
Yeah,
tennis,
that's
really.
all. That's all we're talking about.
And
tennis.
now, gonna go into the college baseball tournament.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna talk about the SEC tournament because that's the best conference in baseball.
Who
Probably.
cares about anything other than the SEC? I don't personally. Although Penn State did upset number 1 Illinois in their conference tournament.
Wow.
So
Might talk about
I
that
just
later.
saw that. No, we
No, we
won't.
won't. LSU is going on a crazy run, upsetting Georgia squad with Charlie Condon.
Mhm.
That guy.
gotta get that name right.
Condone. I'll say it like that.
Condone.
LSU upset that Georgia squad.
Uh-huh.
Condone
Mm-hmm.
on pace to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Good for him, man.
He is a star, 6'6", great frame on that kid. Absolutely rakes, leading the league in homers.
Really.
And
And he's a pitcher?
No, he's not.
Oh,
That's Jack
I thought you said he's a
Caglione.
pitcher. That's fine.
Jack Caglione playing for
Yeah,
Florida,
Florida. I know
also
him.
lost
Yeah.
to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's Bryce Cunningham shoved, giving him no one run through 6 against that great Florida lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And next round, they got to face
Number 1.
the star-studded number 1 Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be an easy game, but
not gonna be easy. Hey,
yep,
Jake.
you said it.
But the LSU earlier today also beat number 3 Kentucky.
I mean, LSU is really
a
showing.
huge upset.
We talked about Paul Skeens earlier. He was on LSU last year, and Dylan Cruz, the 1 and 2 picks. So LSU lost those guys, and they're still out here upsetting some big time teams. So they're still showing like they're no slouch. You know, they're here to play.
I mean, I don't know what it takes to make it to the college baseball like the playoffs, but this is a team I would not want to play in the playoffs for college baseball.
Crazy run right now. All the adrenaline pumping, you know. Another upset: South Carolina upsetting number 7 Alabama. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yep. And Mississippi State beats their in-state rivals Ole Miss and will go on to play Texas A&M
next round. It's going to be a fun one.
Excited
Definitely tune in for that.
Excited for that.
Let's keep talking about college baseball, but in a different light.
Story right here.
Not really sad.
I might cry.
No,
I might cry.
Don't cry.
I might cry. I might cry. I'll try not to.
It's okay. It'll all be okay. All right.
Thanks.
It's an inspirational story, though. Yeah, I don't want you to. I don't want you to be going into this thinking you're gonna cry.
I mean, it could end very badly.
It could, but
it
won't. It won't. Don't worry. Let's be positive.
Be positive,
and let's act like it's gonna happen.
Fill in the crowd about this Birmingham Southern team.
Oh my God, Birmingham Southern. So it's a great story that we just kind of came across yesterday, and we're glad we did because I don't know if I'd be the same man without this story. Birmingham Southern is a D3 college baseball team currently in the NCAA D3 Division III Super Regionals, which means they're one of the final 8 teams remaining in the Division III playoffs. The boys are still buzzing. However, the boys back home won't be buzzing for much longer. Birmingham Southern College is set to shut down its operations on May 31st. Their baseball team isn't set to shut down on this date, though. In fact, there's something more important happening on this date for this squad. The Division III National Championship starts May 31st, and they plan to be there. We're not supposed to be biased, but I hope to see this team playing after the school closes. I mean, just like, what a story is that for a baseball team to honor their fallen school with the greatest honor it can receive, a national championship.
I think all of America is rooting for this team right now.
I certainly am.
How can you not?
How can you not? I mean, unless you're a fan of one of the other 7 teams. I mean,
no one's a fan of those teams.
389 Division III baseball programs, and they're one of the final 8. I mean, they could have just given up. They could have just said, "We don't want to win a championship."
We're
given
gone
the circumstances.
next year.
Like, who cares?
Who cares? But these guys are just being absolute animals.
Exactly.
Keep fighting for this school.
Mm-hmm. They could have given up, and there would be no school left to be upset at them. I mean, there's no one to be like, "Oh, like, you guys messed up." Like, these guys won't see each other after this, unless obviously they win the championship. Then they'll have a lot to talk about. Probably see each other a lot after that,
man.
But not play together. Probably.
I mean, this story is just great for sports. You know, like everyone you gotta love sports. You know,
you gotta love sports. You gotta love this story. It inspires me as a person that doesn't. I mean, you're not in this situation. You have a school. If you're a college or a high school player, you realize you have a school to go back to. You'll play with the same players. It's not a rare. This is a rare situation.
This is
but you have a gift to play with a group of guys, and you have the gift of coming back next year and knowing that school will be around, unlike this school. But they're doing something inspirational in going on this amazing run and showing how something like that, something tragic like these people losing their school, can turn into something so great as an inspirational run to the final 8 teams in the NCAA D3, and they have a chance to be one of the great sports stories I've ever seen. If they win
right now, like, I can't see a way we don't adapt this into a movie.
Exactly,
like this is
Miracle,
movies,
Miracle on Ice type stuff.
Miracle on the bases, you know.
Miracle
That's
on the bases. Call it. Miracle in Birmingham.
Wow.
All right.
I think that's a great way to wrap up this
guys,
episode.
We make this podcast for the love of sports, and this makes me love sports a little more.
Yep. I'm Fabian Resica.
I'm Matthew Langley.
It's been a pleasure. Signing off for now. Good night. See you guys Saturday.
See you, boys.